Hello guys, welcome back to yet another video. Today I am here with MJ from GeeklistTV. Please say hello.
Hello guys, MJ. Thank you for having me back on the channel, Nathan.
That's alright man, anytime. So today we are talking about the Zen Expedition match and what are pretty much our thoughts on it. I personally think it's okay, but I think it's very overhyped. I don't think the fights were too great. I think they were just stock, cliche sort of GIF and then speed lines and then GIF, and then there was not really any great cut. I think the only great cut in that whole those whole matches were the Goku instantaneous Kamehameha, and I also think that the characters weren't really that great. Like the new Universe 9 characters that we saw, the trio did Dangers, weren't that appealing in my opinion. They were just sort of there to sort of just fill time, I guess, and also just to just to fight Goku, Buu, and Gohan. And of course I don't think the fights were too great, and I get that they were warming up, they're just warming up for the Tournament of Might or Tournament of Power, whatever you want to call it, but it still doesn't change the fact that they were kind of they were just okay, I guess. They weren't too great. What are your thoughts on that, MJ?
I have a completely different opinion than you do. Completely different. So what I want your commenters to do down below in the comment section is to kind of take a side. Who do you agree with? Do you agree with your boy Nathan, or do you agree with your boy MJ? Let me know. Did you like this exhibition match, or did you think it was just meh? Right, or it was, around there, maybe even borderline, I could have lived without it. What do you think? But personally, I did enjoy it. I actually did enjoy it. I actually thought the Trio of Danger was a cool bunch. I thought each of them had their own little different, I guess, character to them. One of them, obviously being Basil, he was like Basil the kicker. He really did seem to be confident. In a way, he kind of reminded me of Birder. Like, he seemed very, how you remember the whole gimmick where Birder called himself the fastest in the universe, even like he was weaker than Ginyu and Frieza? Like, Basil seemed like he was confident and he was the strongest, yet he was obviously weaker than, Bergamo and stuff. So it was kind of funny that he was like the overconfident one and shit. But I just liked the way he laughed every single time that he kicked down Buu. I liked his overconfidence when he would charge up his leg blast. I did like the fact that he just fought with his legs. That's something that I guess we haven't really seen that much before. It's kind of a way to kind of just showcase something new without having to create something crazy and terribly I guess convoluted. Like, people will compare Naruto to Dragon Ball. Obviously Naruto does, I guess, shit on Dragon Ball in terms of techniques and I guess complex techniques, and sometimes you don't really need complex techniques. I do love them, but you don't necessarily need them. It's cool to have them. So, but in this case, I don't think you really needed to create this complex ability that made Basil some completely different from the other fighters. It was just simple to where, he just used his legs, you know what I mean? That's all he used. So it was cool to kind of get that. Plus, you had Lavanda, who actually kind of seemed like he was the psycho of the bunch, as soon as he found out he could kill, he went straight for the kill. He did not waste any time. You could kind of argue, oh, he's bad at killing because, obviously he didn't kill Goku. Obviously, you can argue he's bad at killing because he didn't kill Gohan, but he still went right for the kill. He was like, can I use my poison? Bergamo was like, yeah, and he used his poison as soon as he could against Gohan. So to me, I think that was kind of cool that they kind of had a cycle of the group. I did his manic laugh that he kind of did throughout the episode, and then of course he had Bergamo, which was my favorite. If you're a fan of pro wrestling like I am, I loved it when Bergamo just grabbed I know he didn't specifically grab a microphone, but it felt like he grabbed a microphone and just cut an entire promo on Goku. He tried to make Goku the evil guy and kind of turn everybody against him. I love that so much. It was kind of a typical wrestling thing where the evil guy comes out, he tries to get the crowd on the good guy, but then they fight and then the good guy beats him up. It was almost like a typical wrestling booked match. I thought that was kind of cool, and it's funny because the Tournament of Power is actually similar to the Royal Rumbles in wrestling, where 30-man enter and you gotta throw them out. So it's is Toriyama taking notes from wrestling here? Is Toei taking notes from wrestling? What are they doing here? But I overall thought the Trio of the Danger were cool. As far as the fighting goes, I do agree with you. However, to their defense though, I'm not too sure if you've noticed this, but it seems like Toei recently, in almost every single fight that we've seen in Super since Universe Survival Arc started, has it not been nothing but repeated frames? Like, are they trying to appeal to those DBZ fans who think good animation is nothing but repeated frames? I'm not too sure if you've noticed that. That just seems to be the case. Like, it seems like every single fight nowadays is like a repeated loop of frames. You know what I mean? I'm not sure if you noticed that, but yeah, I get what you mean. There wasn't nothing like crazy, like no crazy Sheeta cut, no crazy Tate cut. Like even Tate, when he animated the Basil versus Boo, when he animated, he did a looped frame. It was Basil versus Boo in that fast-paced loop frame. So it's like, again, it does seem like they're trying to appeal to that. And AJ even pointed out the new filter, so that could be a thing to where they're trying to appeal to, I guess, the Western audience or the DBZ fan base that think great animation is like repeated frames. So that's maybe why we didn't get like great cuts. You know what I mean? Maybe they're more focused on doing that, I could see. But I do get your point on that. We didn't get amazing like Tate or amazing Sheeta cuts, you know, like we got in the Future Trunks arc, you know?
Right, and I think, I mean, that's obviously some of the audience that likes the sort of, like, I like to dub them GIF animations, because they're just like GIFs, they just go over and over, or GIFs, whatever you want to call it.
They're good, but not for a whole fight, you know? They're good for a little quick here and there, but they're not good for the entire fight, you know?
Yeah, exactly, and it's just like, I think it was full of them, and also the speed lines on the top and bottom, like, it's like, oh, instead of actually showing speed, let's just have speed lines to indicate it. It's like, and that's plagued all of Super, but it was particularly noticeable in the like preliminaries for the Tournament of Power, and I think it's kind of sort of lazy in a way, but so yeah, the fighting was meh, and also like in the Goku versus Bergamo fight, like Bergamo grew big, and I think the only reason for that is because then they could grow, they could animate Goku as being a very tiny person, so they don't have to put a whole lot of detail in it. And it was just like sort of things like that that wasn't really interesting, in my opinion at least. And I thought the Trio de Dangers were, apart from their like unique techniques, I guess, they didn't really have any personality.
Well, Lavanda didn't really have any unique techniques. I felt Lavanda actually lacked in that position because Frost actually kind of debuted the whole poison stuff before him in Super, so I kind of felt that was kind of taken away, you know?
Yeah, and also like fights, like as I said, animation is only one part of it. It's also like techniques that they used and sort of the build-up. It just all wasn't there. I do think that the Goku versus Toppo fight was quite well done, however, and that was the only decent fight in the preliminaries, the Expedition tournament, before the main Tournament of Power. I thought that was strong, and I also do like the Universe Survival arc. I don't think it's my favorite out of the Super arcs, and I think the saving grace for this arc so far is the character moments between Goku and 17, Vegeta and Bra, that came after the preliminaries, because well, they're just character moments, and Super's always been good at great character moments, and also good fights in the Future Trunks arc, as you mentioned, like Sheeta's cut. I just think that the fighting in the preliminaries, at least so far, isn't up to par of what Super can achieve, and equate that to it being just a just sort of a preparation match, or them just like not really caring about it, or both. I just don't think it was well done, and the characters, Basil, Lavanda, and Bergamo, were quite lackluster. The only saving grace, as I say, for this arc is the characters and Toppo. That Toppo fight was really intriguing because of the whole dynamic of Goku. Like, Toppo thinks Goku is some sort of villain. I like that, I like that sort of concept, and that sort of added to the fight itself, because you can see a cool Dragon Ball fight, but it's really the story and the characters and the techniques that the animators use to really hit home those fights, and I just don't think the preliminaries really did it for me.
I'll say this, to add some weight to the Bergamo versus Goku fight, I do see what you're saying about them kind of taking it easy when making Goku small. However, though, Hikishida did actually do some cool rotation techniques where it showed like Goku flying around Bergamo. I thought that was really cool. Something that they didn't need to do, but they still did it. I thought that was kind of cool that they did that, the whole rotation of where Goku was flying around the giant Bergamo. I thought that was very awesome that they actually added that, and it was a cool addition to the fight. But yeah, the Toppo fight was probably the best one. I think overall I just the whole Toppo dynamic, because it just seemed very interesting that he wanted to fight Goku and all that stuff. And plus, it gave us the whole thing of like, you know, hey, there's Jiren, you know what I mean? I think that was a cool thing. You know, it gave us that concept that this may not be a walk in the park, you know? It may not be this easy for our heroes, because once Toppo is like, you know what, I'm gonna show you justice, and he powers up, and then Goku's like, oh shit, and then he has to use his Kaioken, and then, you know, they stop it. Toppo's like, if we're equal, then you're no match for Jiren. I'm like, oh shit, like what's Goku gonna do against this guy? If Goku's only equal to their number 2, or supposedly equal to their number 2, what's he gonna do against their number 1? Like that, to me, instantly got me hyped up to see their fight. However, though, Particle, I'm not sure if you thought about this. I'm not sure if you want to call this a plot hole or like an inconsistency, but there was something that was a bit weird to me, and that was that Zeno told Goku in the Bergamo fight that he needed to go all out, or they'll wipe him all out, right? Universe 7. Well, he went all out. He literally said that, hey Zen-chan, I went all out, you know, after he powered down against Bergamo. So he showcased the Kaioken with the blue form. Why didn't Toppo know that? Wasn't Toppo watching the fight? Shouldn't Toppo have known they were equal before the fight even started?
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
So why didn't he just jump in and just one-shot Goku instead of like fighting Goku in his Super Saiyan form? And it also, they tried to imply that he was kind of surprised by Goku's blue form, but again, he also saw Goku in his blue form too before they fought. So that was a little bit of a problem with me there. It just seemed like was Toppo not watching the fight with Bergamo or something? It was just like
I don't think they were well thought out enough. Like they were kind of just lackluster. I don't think they're terrible, like don't get me wrong, I don't think it's the worst couple of fights in the series. I don't think it's the worst little mini arc. There's way worse, but I think it is kind of lackluster, and I just kind of wanted to get that opinion out there. Obviously MJ respectfully disagrees. That's fine. I can understand why people do like this little preliminary thing. It was just not my cup of tea. I think I need a little more like character moments within that, and we got that in Goku vs Toppo, but we just needed more of that. And I think the characters that were shown, particularly the Trio de Dangers, didn't really do anything for me, and the fights were kind of just stock. But that's just me, guys. I think we've wrapped up the video here. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Please go check out MJ in the description down below. He makes awesome content. Just go check him out. He makes great Dragon Ball videos. And yeah, subscribe if you're new to his channel. And yeah, also, please comment on what you think about the preliminary fights for the Tournament of Power. That consists of the Gohan vs Lavanda, Boo vs Basil, Goku vs Bergamo, and Goku vs Toppo. So those fights are the preliminaries for the Tournament of Power. Please let me know what you think of them. Do you agree with MJ? And also, do you agree with me? I want to know your thoughts down below. So yeah, see you later.